What's up, everybody? This is Rock and Zach from SquadCast, and we're here to talk about why it's important for you to get a website for your podcast. We go to a lot of local meetups here in the Bay Area for podcasters, and oftentimes they don't have a website. They don't see the importance of a website, so we're here to talk about that. So, Zach, what are the 3 main reasons why podcasters should get a website, and then we'll break each of those down a little bit more.
Yeah, it's kind of low-hanging fruit, so you can get a lot of quick wins for SEO to help discoverability on your podcast, to help expand your brand future forward, and then to help engage with your listeners, to kind of have that central hub for the conversation with them, so that it's a dialogue and not just you talking at your audience.
Right. The central hub, I think, is the one that's always stood out the most to me, because I mean, we love podcasting because it's not centralized, but that's also the downturn, is like there's all these different listening apps, there's all these different ways that your listeners or audience can find you. But having that central hub of like, okay, they know for sure that they can go here for the newest, the latest. You can add some bonus features. What other benefits are there to the website in that regard?
In just engaging with them, having a way to have that dialogue, like I mentioned, being able to find you across all of the different platforms. Like you have your podcast that lives on your website, but then you're also probably on social media, and there's content that you're providing in these different stories on Instagram or on Facebook or your Facebook group. You can kind of they can find all of the areas that you're engaging with the community in that one spot, and then also kind of dovetails nicely with growing your brand. If you want to offer resources to them, collect emails, maybe have a store for merch, like Girl in Space, Sarah, she's killing it with her merch store on there. There's a lot of opportunities to kind of fit those 2 things together and move beyond a podcast to like a blog or these other channels. And yeah, there's no gatekeepers, but there are some good things that those traditional gatekeepers provide for us, and one of those is a website, so you gotta kind of fit it in with your podcast strategy. Right.
And then another point was, the benefit is for SEO purposes, which stands for search engine optimization.
Yeah,
now,
discoverability.
I know it's important, but I don't necessarily have an SEO background. So what is the importance of SEO, and how does having a website contribute to that?
Bottom line is, when people go looking for the content that you're working hard to create, they're going to find it. And your website is how Google and all of these other search engines know and kind of understand your presence online, and therefore they can provide it to people who are looking for what content that you're delivering. So it kind of Google or these search engines are that kind of mediator, and then your website tells them kind of the universe of your content, and then they can serve it up in the different Google Podcast app, or iTunes. They have their search, and having certain like meta tags in your website can help them understand that this is a website for podcasts even. And Google's recently added the ability to, much like they did with video for a long time, if you search for something, they can you can play a podcast episode on that topic right within the search results. So that's search engine optimization.
Got it.
Helping people find your content.
Appreciate it. So what was that third one again?
Search engine optimization.
No, the third one. We went through 1 and 2.
Growing your brand.
Growing your brand.
Yeah, so growing your brand would be like collecting, having resources, and then collecting emails. So that way you can start a dialogue with your listeners, and maybe you offer parallel services to your podcast. So you have a lot of folks like the different. What's an example of a podcast that's doing this well?
I mean, you mentioned Girl in Space.
Girl in Space, yeah. So she has also the Right Now podcast, and she can have resources there to become a better writer, and then also have, her centralized hub fits in well with multiple brands because she has multiple podcasts. So that's another reason why podcast websites can help you grow beyond just that one podcast. And maybe you want to do a network someday. There's those opportunities to fit your brands together. So she's offering resources on there. She also offers a store to have her merch, and then people send her like fan art even, and then can get into her show and different social media or whatever. So there's a lot of things that you can do from that once you have established that centralized hub. It's also great to be on brand with your domain name, and that just kind of makes your media, your multicast strategy kind of complete within that hub, and you can kind of branch out from there.
Right. That makes sense. All right, well, those are the 3 reasons why it's important to get a website for your podcast, and those 3 reasons are: it's a centralized hub.
Yeah.
Helps with SEO, search engine optimization, and growing your brand.
Growing your brand, yeah.
So I'm Rock, this is Zach, we're SquadCast. Thank you.